That's right, folks. You're looking at an iPad Air, the new fancy pants Apple large-scale iOS device. It's a pretty cool device, and we're going to tear it down. We're going to rip this screen off. So, we wanted to do the video to show the teardown on and the full screen replacement on the iPad Air for those of you thinking of doing it, DIYing it, or other repair companies that haven't ventured into this or aren't getting these for repair yet. We've been getting a pretty big demand for iPad Air just right off the bat. People are breaking them as usual and as suspected. So here they are. Here it is, and we're going to start with the teardown. As with any other iOS device, you start with a heat gun, or a heat around the edges. A temperature-controlled heat gun is always ideal. This is a Ryobi temperature-controlled heat gun. We're at 1,050 degrees Fahrenheit, as you see there. That's a pretty good starting point to not scorch it, but to get the heat that you need, so that you won't further crack the screen as you're doing it, which we still may anyway. And so that you can lift the screen effectively. So we're going to start on the left side here, because some kind of precautionary note here is on this right side is where some of the cables are. Digitizer cables, probably home flex down here. It's right around this area, so we got to be careful not to tear anything coming from the board or mess anything up over here. We're going to start from the left side. We're going to give it some heat. It's not a lot of heat. We don't want to blast it. We want to scorch it enough so that we get this stuff loose. We can get a tool underneath it here, a pick underneath it here, something that allows us to just get a little bit of traction, a little bit of leverage here. I'm going to take a double-sided spudger, which you can get from etechparts.com. These guys got like all the right tools. Tools really matter, especially with this device. And just try to get an incision point on the corner. There's zero bezel. The bezel's just non-existent on this thing, just like the iPad Mini. So it's harder and it's likely to crack, but we're going to give it a shot and see if we can get underneath here. All right, so I'm just kind of underneath, but I got to do this very carefully. So I'm underneath, and I just want to kind of go really super slow. I'm just moving really slow. I mean, I think that's if there's any takeaway on this, it's not that we're geniuses. It's about going super slow on some of these parts, some of these repairs. So we got the top left corner to have a little bit of traction here, and this is kind of a pivotal time, because we could probably take a pick and insert it in there, in where we have this minor incision going on, and at least use that as a mechanism to get some leverage on the rest of the see, it cracked, the rest of the repair. So it's probably not going to be too effective now. That pick just did it. That pick was just a forceful beast of a pick. All right, so that's okay. So let's take the pick out. Let's kind of pry some of this glass up, get underneath here, and just kind of engage this like we would engage any other iPad repair, getting this stuff out and just kind of getting it out of the way. All right. Well, at least we got a corner kind of squared away there. Take a card and get some of that glass off. Let's give this more heat. It needs more heat. One of the major things we really want to do is show you exactly how much heat we're putting on it. A lot of videos fast forward to that part, but I think it's pretty important. So I'm going to get underneath here again, see if I can do some slow sliding. This is already cracked in that area, so it's probably likely to do that. A little derailment from the path. It's okay though, we're doing good. We got some lift action going on. A little crack there. It's alright. We're really just trying to get it to the point where the adhesive is separated from the frame, the digitizer here, we can get some actual lift. I really just want lift going on. That's what we want. We want lift, my friends. Lift. All right. So as you see, I got some lift going on. I'm all the way underneath of this, and so I got lift, and that's what we're really shooting for here. Some good lift. In this corner, we already got a crack. This is where the device probably dropped, and so let's just take some of this glass out. Just get it underneath. That's why this this double-sided spudger is such an amazing tool. It just gets right underneath there. Allows you to get what you need right out. Alright. I'm just going to take my finger and kind of get the rest of this adhesive off of here. This is adhesive underneath, and so we're able to, by grabbing this adhesive and pulling, we're able to take the whole lift dynamic and just own it like David did Goliath. Now there's no adhesive there at all. So this entire left side of the device is now, we can just lift that thing, which is great. That's what we wanted. So let's kind of look at it and see what's going on, and think about what the next place to start is. Immediately, I'm thinking that up here by the antennas is the next place to start, and we're going to see if we can get an incision on this side. Just start from this side and work over, so that we can expose this antenna in a manner that allows us to continue to go and take the glass off without ripping an antenna. First, we've got to heat it though. Let's heat it some more. That'll probably be enough. Again, you don't want to go too low toward the LCD or too high. You don't want to mess up this antenna. That can happen with too much heat. Just going to spot check it with my finger. Yeah, it's hot enough. We're going to go from this side with the double-sided spudger, metal spudger. Just sort of pick glass away slowly and monitor what's going on underneath so we can make sure that we're okay. So what we've done here is we've already exposed, just by doing that, which is the intention, a bit of this antenna, which is tremendous. Now we got the antenna, we're above the antenna. We could stick a pick in there or something and get it the rest of the way through. And yeah, in fact, let's do that. Let's take a pick. Let's get in here and see if that's possible. We're just gonna have to pick glass from here on out. All right. So let's actually take this double-sided spudger and kind of finish the job on this. We're just gonna slowly, but definitely, pick this glass out of here. I'm going to get underneath of it this way, see if I can slide and just get a little bit of that stuff going on. That looks beautiful. See what's going on with that glass. Get that stuff the heck out of there. We've already exposed the other antenna. That's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. And so we'll proceed with doing that same thing over here on the right side, your left. We're underneath with the double-sided spudger. Again, you may notice the kind of pattern here that the double-sided spudger is a really efficient tool. It's really effective for getting in the spots that are like, God, space-wise, like how thin it is. It's kind of perfect for this device. Let's stop right here because we're not even sure if there's a accompanying L-shaped part of this antenna that goes to the board, which it does on the iPad mini. We want to make sure we don't tear that thing. Let's stop there. Flip the device up. This is a good way to sort of peer into it and see what the heck's going on. Let's make sure that we're not tearing anything. I'm going to take a pick. I'm going to get it there so we're above it. And I think the best idea at this point is to give it a little more heat right around the corner and start from this edge and work our way in so we make sure we're not tearing any of this wire right here. Let me go ahead and heat it up. A little bit, not much, kind of a semi-scorch, but not a damaging semi-scorch. Alright, we're going to get underneath here and see what the heck's going on. Let's get this home flex cable the heck out of here. We got in this area we have the SIM card tray, and there's a cable that attaches to the board there. We've seen this connector on other iPads around the cellular antennas, how they plug into the board, how particular modules of the device plug into daughter boards, and how the home flex cable on the iPad 4 plugs into the to the board as well. We got some facilitative tape here, which is what we want to get the heck out of here so we can lift this home flex cable up. So we're just going to take some tweezers here and get this tape up. All right. Put that piece of tape somewhere else because we want to use it again. That stuff is there for a reason. This thing came up. It basically is just a same thing, but just on a larger scale. It's a piece of plastic that flips up, so that now we can take this home flex cable and just gently pull it out. That's it. Nothing crazy, nothing magic, nothing mysterious, nothing scary. This is it right here, folks. Okay, that's the home flex cable that we want to keep. What we're going to probably have to do is transfer that onto the new device. Digitizers are not coming with a full assembly right now. It's very early in the game in the iPad era, so we're going to have to transfer that over. Let's take a spudger and lift up these digitizer cables. This one and this one. Actually kind of easy to do with my finger. And let's do that. Take your finger and lift this other one. If you can use your finger and not a tool, it's probably better. All right. So that's it. We're lifted. So now we got the digitizer cables lifted, the home flex cable lifted. We are about to separate this thing once and for all. To finish the job of teardown. If I can get it off without cracking any more of the glass. Finish the job, sir. I'm just sort of wiggling this thing to get it out. Alright. That's where we're at, friends. As you see, it's just having a hard time coming up because there's adhesive on this side that I'm going to lift here with my left thumb. And that's it, friends. Check it out. We have the iPad Air digitizer lifted from the device. Crazy job. Once you get used to it, it happens very quickly, as with other of these iOS devices. And now what it looks like we're going to have to do is take this home flex cable from this device and transfer it onto the new digitizer. All right, folks. So what we got to do here on this home flex cable on the bottom is we got to get this thing off. We got to get this home flex cable off of here. And the way that we're going to do that is we got to heat it, and we got to start peeling from this side. We got to remove this facilitative tape right here and get underneath of this home button wing as we would with an iPad regular 2, 3, and 4, and then lift this whole assembly up. So let's blast it with some heat. But I would say that since this is a particularly fragile cable here, and we definitely want to tear that. That wire's probably not available right now. It's very early in the game, and it may not be available depending on when you're watching this. So let's take let's lessen the ante here to like 500 degrees Fahrenheit and get some heat on this wire. Just a little bit. That's it. I don't want to put too much heat there. Let's start from this side and just start to pull. Alright, we got a little bit of stuff going on here. It's pulling. I'm really just kind of pulling this wire so I can get it lifted from the adhesive. I want to stop there. See if I can get this facilitative tape out of the way so we can see what we're looking at. Okay. Let's save this tape. Save that tape. Take a spudger and get underneath of this wing here, just to get a little lift going on. The antenna, this cable seems to be going underneath and attaching to this wing, so we want to tear that. Just want to go on the right side here and get underneath, get that lift going on. All right, so we got the lift going on in the home wing. We got most of this lifted up, and now we have this small little connector that we got to get under and kind of finish the job here. We don't want to tear any of this. Alright. Let's come from this side and just get underneath. There we go. That's it, friends. That's how she works. And that's how it functions. So here we have the entire Home Flex assembly for the new iPad Air. This thing's pretty amazing. It works, it functions like this. You know, it goes over, under. It looks just like the iPad mini Home Flex connector right there. And luckily there's no soldering happening here like on the iPad mini, which gave, you know, thousands of companies massive migraines in the front of their foreheads for a long time. But it still seemed to be a bit of a pain in the butt, which is why iFixit gives these repairability scores to, like, you know, 0. Should be 0. They put 2. Alright, so here's the Home Flex cable, which we'll have to transfer to the new device. Let's just take this home button out of here, because that's all it is now. It's just a home button sitting in here. You can get underneath it here to see what the heck's going on. It's got a pretty strong bit of adhesive around that home button. And that's it. There we got the home button. We'll place that just the way that it was on the new digitizer, which we have. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's take this old digitizer. We're done with you, sir. Thank you. All right. We're going to bring the new digitizer out. Let's just clean up some of this excess glass. We don't want to be putting the digitizer on small chips of glass. A card is one of the best ways to do that. Get the glass out of the way and proceed from there. Let's keep this in the package as much as we can. See what's going on with that. Take off these pieces of plastic here, protect it, and then let's place this home button. All right, so we're going to take the home button, place it in the hole where we know it goes. It's pretty simple. We're just going to seat it there. Want to press down as much as we can. It's important that we got this on this new iPad Air digitizer right away, so that the adhesive on that home button sticks correctly and everything works appropriately. That's going to be important, as it always is. Let's take this Home Flex cable and see what's going on around this area. Yeah, so we're probably going to have to take the adhesive off of here. Take it off with your hand. Take it off with your fingers here, or get a spudger or preferably an X-Acto knife to get under there and take that stuff off. Okay, just grab these tweezers. We want to get this adhesive off of here. We don't want excess adhesive on such a very small kind of thin situation here, because that could add, you know, gaps and stuff that we don't really want to be there. Let's get on the other side here and get as much of this stuff off as we can. Alright. So now let's just put some thin adhesive. Let's just put some thin adhesive on both of these wings as we would a regular iPad, and let's secure this sucker back on here. So we're just going to grab some double-sided adhesive that we got. This stuff here, just a roll of it, and then we're going to go ahead and see what the heck's up here. If I can find scissors. All right, just cut one piece. Let's take the wing. Let's place a square where it goes, you know, to cover the entirety of this thing. Let's take some scissors and cut the rest of it the heck out of there. Have it stick to our fingers so we can efficiently go and transfer that to the other side. I'm going to place it right over, just like that, and clip the rest of this off. Hallelujah, see you later. Alright, we're done. Let's peel these adhesive strips and place this wing. It's one side. That's the other side. Let's proceed to place this wing. Alright. We got the wing placed. Let's kind of place this cable and stick it to this new digitizer in the exact same fashion as the other one, of course. So we can, on the left side, have this cable sitting here and ready to be plugged in, so that home functionality works on our new digitizer. Alright, so that's it, folks. That's what we got. Let's just pull this up, see what we're looking at here. We had to transfer this whole home assembly to the new digitizer. Here is the new digitizer. And now we have our home button. I'm pressing it and it works. And so we can proceed with continuing the rest of the repair here. All right, folks. We're at the point here where we're gonna put this digitizer back on and set this thing straight. So first, what we did is we just put adhesive around the device. This is just double-sided tape, double-sided adhesive that we put on here. Use as adhesive until the original adhesive becomes available. We got some strips of adhesive going on along the sides parallel to each other here, and then an adhesive on the bottom covering these parts with a small gap and a small little piece of adhesive on the bottom there to make sure that everything's sealed tight as effectively as possible when closing this device. So now what we got is we got the digitizer, we got the small components assembly secured to the digitizer, and we're going to go ahead and plug some of this stuff in. Let's plug in the digitizer to the side here. Let's also plug in the home flex cable. Okay, that's the digitizer. Let's plug in this the other part of the digitizer here. First part seemed to have popped out. Where are we at? There we go. I'm like can't cut my way out of a paper bag here. All right, trying to figure this out. All right, there we go. All right, so we got the digitizer cables in. Let's just let this thing kind of sit. You know what? It seems like it's probably putting a little excessive pressure on it. No, that's good. Okay. So we just want to watch that we don't tear these wires, these digitizer cables here. We want to make sure that we're perfectly clear there. And not doing that, let's take this home flex cable and plug it on in. So I'd feel comfortable taking some tweezers here and getting into this way. All right. She's in. And now let's close that latch. Close it with my finger. Not a big deal. And she's in. Let's take that piece of facilitative tape and get it over that that home flex area. Actually, I think we want to try to straighten that cable out. It looks just a little not straight. There we go. Make sure that's straight and close her up. Alright, let's take this tape and get it on the spot. Actually, this tape is for the part of the home flex cable on the digitizer, which we're going to snip back on there. And then take this piece of tape here and put it over this. Alright. So we got the tape over there. There's another piece of tape that we said we would want to keep, which goes over the SIM card, which is a cable that plugs into the motherboard right there. Let's put that back on. cool. So I'd say at this point we want to put the LCD in and see what we got, so that we can test this thing before we seal the device. We want to test it, make sure everything's functioning correctly, make sure we did everything right before we seal it. So let's take this LCD. It's adhesed to this shield. It didn't come that way, but that's okay. We're gonna leave it there because it seems to be pretty efficient. Unless, probably maybe want to take that off so that so it doesn't come off. Kind of looks like it's very secured on here. This is pretty secured on that shield. So for right now, this early in the game, let's not do that. Let's just plug this thing back in. Let's see what the heck is going on. There it is. Goes back on, plugs back in. I heard it click. And she's good. Let's flip it around. Place this LCD in. Everything seems to be going well. And let's power this device on and see what we got. What do you know? Got some power going on here. Let's flip this digitizer over and put it in place. We just want to put it in a position here where we can test it, and then we'll go from there. All right, here we go. We want to make sure touch functionality is working here. And we got touch. Alright, so we're in. Now let's just kind of move around, make sure the rest of this digitizer is responding correctly. And we're good to go. We basically did this screen replacement, folks. We're just going to pull that adhesive, seal the device, and then you're good to go. Let's test the home functionality, make sure we're good on the home button. Good to go, everything works there. That's it. So as the device sits and as the dimensions lay, we're going to go ahead and pull this thing up again. It's a common protocol for the rest of it. We're going to clean the LCD, take a microfiber cloth here and just kind of get in some of the areas where maybe we fingerprinted it up or touched it at some capacity. A really nifty tool to use to get dust off is a paintbrush, interestingly. Take a paintbrush, get some of that dust off there. Take a microfiber rag and just clear this out. Clear some of the marks that you may have put with your finger the heck out of there. You don't want to do that. Have your customers kicking your butt, or have your wife kicking your butt, one or the other. And that's it. Let's lift this. Let's lift the LCD back up and put the screws in to secure that shield. And then let's just close this device and we'll be good to go. This is where we bring these nifty sirs back into the picture. Thank you, sir. Very nice working with you, sir. Okay, bring this one in. All right, hello, sir. Nice to see you again, sir. Thank you for going in so smoothly. Alright. And we're making it happen. Okay. Alright, so let's drop this LCD in. Let's put these 4 accompanying screws in here to secure it in, and then we're just going to seal this piece and be done with it. Alright friends, we've got all the adhesive lifted. This is adhesive we put on the top here on the antennas, the adhesive across the side, the adhesive on the at the bottom of the device, and we're going to proceed to do a close here. Everything's ready, prep for closing. Just get any excess dust and stuff off of there as much as you can. You don't want to be giving your stuff back to your customer with dust on it. Alright. Everything Everything looks pretty good here. Let's proceed with this close. We're going to go from the right side, taking the device over, sealing it identically. Okay. Alright, so now that it's in place, I'm just going to kind of make sure that it stays in place by pressing it in the corners here. Give it that good seal. Let's lift the little plastic piece that comes with the screen off of here. If it didn't come in such a ridiculous manner, if you could get it off with one swoop, it'd be good to go. And that's it, folks. We're looking at an iPad mini, an iPad Air rather, that has now been replaced, the screen. This thing's functioning greatly, everything's back to normal. We're going to seal this thing, and we have one more happy customer in iMobileRescue, one more repair done and completed, and now a video for those of you who are thinking about doing this, repair companies venturing into it for the iPad Air repair. It's not that difficult. A lot of us were thinking, what the heck is this going to be like coming out? How's it going to function? How's it going to manage? How are we going to manage it? Is it going to be breakable? Business as usual, friends. Business as usual. Everything's good, and that teardown and reassembly is really not that big of a deal compared to some other devices. In fact, it's probably a little easier than the iPad 2, 3, and 4 because the adhesive, I want to say it's still sticky enough, but there's not as much of it because the bezels have shortened. And so the device is probably just a little bit easier than those devices. So thanks a lot. If you got something out of this, please retweet it. Share our website, link to the page here, or link to the YouTube video, or iMobileRescue.com would be better. And it's just to say thanks to us, that would be cool. We'll give you silent props via the internet, or you can email us and say, hey, we linked you here, and we'll give you super props thereafter. And if you want us to do this for you, this is what we do professionally across the country for a lot of companies that have iPads for their main operation, a lot of educational organizations that have iPads for their main operation, and also consumers as well mail them to us every day. So we can do that for you if you don't want to do it, if it's a little too risky, kind of get nervous about it, we'll square it away for you. And otherwise, if you're doing this yourself, best of luck. Hope this helped you in understanding the details. We like to make these videos with me talking and as up close as we can. Going as detailed as we can with all this stuff, because all those details really do matter. Thanks for watching, folks. See ya.